There was a time when Rich Homie Quan couldn't miss. Every song felt like a hit. Every verse felt real. And for a moment, it looked like he was next in line to take over hip-hop. But then, almost overnight, everything changed. The hits slowed down. The spotlight faded. And the same artist who once dominated the charts slowly disappeared from the conversation. So what really happened? A voice that felt different. Before the fame, Rich Homie Quan wasn't trying to sound like anyone else. Coming out of Atlanta, he brought something different, a mix of melody and emotion that made his music feel personal. You didn't just hear his songs, you felt them. When Type of Way dropped, it wasn't just a hit, it was a statement. It told the world that this wasn't just another rapper chasing trends. This was an artist with something real. Then came Flex, Ooh, Ooh, Ooh. And that's when everything exploded. Suddenly, Rich Homie Quan wasn't just rising. He was everywhere. At that moment, it didn't feel like if he would blow up. It felt like how big he was about to become. The moment that changed everything. Then came the collaboration that took things to another level. Rich Homie Quan teamed up with Young Thug under Rich Gang. And what they created was special. Their chemistry was unpredictable, energetic, and completely new. When Lifestyle dropped, it didn't just become a hit, it became a cultural moment. The sound, the vibe, the energy, everything clicked. For a moment, it felt like Rich Homie Quan and Young Thug had the future of hip-hop in their hands. Fans believed this was just the beginning. But in reality, it was the peak. The split no one expected. Just as things were taking off, everything fell apart. The Rich Gang era ended almost as quickly as it started. Rich Homie Quan and Young Thug went their separate ways. No clear explanation. No closure. Just silence. Fans were left confused. Why walk away from something that was clearly working? Why leave a moment that could have defined an entire career? Sometimes, the decisions that feel right in the moment end up costing you everything. And for Rich Homie Quan, this was that moment. When the moment passes. After the split, something changed. The music was still there, but the impact wasn't. The energy that once felt effortless now felt harder to recreate. Songs dropped, but they didn't stick. The hits stopped coming. And slowly, the attention began to fade. At the same time, Young Thug continued to evolve, experimenting, adapting, and staying ahead of the curve. The gap between them started to grow. One artist kept moving forward, the other got stuck in a moment that had already passed. Problems behind the scenes. But it wasn't just about the music. Behind the scenes, there were issues most fans didn't see. Label complications. Business disagreements. Delays. All of it slowed him down at the worst possible time. Because in the music industry, timing is everything. And when your momentum stops, it doesn't wait for you to catch up. The industry doesn't pause, even when your career does. The game kept moving. While Rich Homie Quan was dealing with setbacks, the industry kept evolving. New artists came in. New sounds took over. New trends replaced the old ones. The same style that once made him stand out now started to feel familiar. And in a world driven by what's new, familiar isn't always enough. In music, staying the same isn't safe, it's risky. Was it a missed opportunity? Looking back, it's hard not to ask the question. What if things went differently? What if he stayed with Rich Gang? What if he evolved his sound faster? What if the momentum never stopped? Because the truth is, Rich Homie Quan had everything he needed to be one of the biggest names in the game. The talent, the hits, the moment. But sometimes, having the moment isn't enough. You have to keep it. Conclusion. Rich Homie Quan's story isn't just about falling off. It's about how fast things can change when momentum disappears. It's about how one decision, one shift, one missed step, can change everything. Because in the music industry, you don't lose overnight. You lose slowly, until one day, people stop noticing. Final thought. So now the question is, did Rich Homie Quan fall off? Or did the industry simply move on without him? And more importantly, Could he have been one of the greatest of his era? Let me know what you think.